Apple wants you to believe that buying a MacBook in 2025 is a great option, right? Sleek design, beautiful battery life, and amazing performance. But here's the truth. When you spend over $2,000 on a MacBook from Apple, you're not just buying a laptop, you're buying into those rules. And those rules have very nasty consequences. So in this video, I am going to be reviewing all of the nasty surprises and consequences of buying a MacBook from Apple. And you will either thank me for making this video possible or regret your purchase. First off, let's start with the price. For example, the MacBook Air starts at about $1,099, which seems fine, right? Well, no, because the minute you try to add any extra RAM or storage, they charge you about $200 just to change your storage from about 256 gigabytes to 512 gigabytes, which is terrible considering that Windows computers, they only charge half of the price, or better yet, you can switch it up all by yourselves. But with Macs, no, you can't do that. They don't give you any space to do any type of mods with it. What you start with is what you're stuck with for the rest of your life. Alright, now here's where it gets scary. Break the keyboard, that's $1,000. Break the screen, that's $800, which is almost the exact same price, if not more, for what you paid for.
Bruh.
So if you fumble up, then that means that you have to pay the same price that you bought the MacBook, if not more. Which is very sad considering that you also can't go for any third-party resellers because Apple tries to make sure that their keyboards and screens are almost unfixable, which means that you're stuck to fixing your Apple products in the Apple Store, which is kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie. And then comes the ecosystem trap. Once you buy a MacBook, you're stuck with all of the beautiful and flawless features such as AirDrop, iMessages, and iCloud. But once you try to switch to an Android or a Windows laptop, half of those features are gone. Apple's not selling you a laptop, they're selling you a beautiful, shiny cage. Now, to be completely fair, on the flip side, the MacBook is a very powerful and versatile tool, beating on most of its competitors, if not all of them, with the M3 and M4 chips being very powerful and fast and sufficient enough for anything you need to do. Especially for creators, it can be a very versatile tool. So it's not the performance that's a problem, it's the fact that they basically cage you from doing any other things except for their ecosystem itself. So here's the full and ugly truth. When you buy a MacBook from Apple, you're not just buying a laptop, you're buying into their ecosystem, their pricing, and their rules. So if you're okay with that, then go for it. Buy a MacBook. But if you're not okay with that, I'd recommend you going for a Linux or Windows-powered PC or a laptop, which would probably be better for you. So what do you think? Is Apple ripping you off, or are they worth every single penny that you paid for their MacBooks? Drop it in the comments, your opinion. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this breakdown, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.